I'm Holly. I'm here with Tracy Shaw, who's been nominated and for the Tooele County Patriot, and she is highlighted this month for her incredible hard work and dedication to the party and to her country and community. Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
A lot of people want to know, first of all, I want to know, how do you do it? How do you do all the things you do in the party, in your community, in your daily life? You are a mother, a wife, a teacher to your children, and a secretary for the Tooele County Republicans, an incredible patriot. So let's hear it.
Well, thank you. I sometimes ask myself that question, but mostly just about prioritizing. I mean, obviously my family comes first, so we always take care of what we need to at home. And luckily I have a very supportive husband who is more than happy to make sure that I have the time to do these things. He's with the kids when I need to be doing what I need to do here, and I'm with the kids when he needs to be doing everything that he's doing. So we just kind of have to do a little balancing act. We work together and we make it work. So
That's
happy
great.
to do it.
So tell me, what inspired you to get involved in not only government but in your community and all that you do?
Well, I grew up in a bubble at home. My family never discussed anything political. It was never that kind of a discussion, but I married into a family that was always talking about politics. They were really big fans of talk radio, always talking about current events. And so when I married into this, I found myself just sitting on the couch and listening and staring at everyone and not having anything to contribute because I had no idea what they were talking about half the time. But after listening for a while, I got the hang of it and started hearing and understanding more and realizing what was going on around me, which made me start thinking and wanting to do something more than just sit around on the couch and talk about it in our little family circle. We needed to do something more. And as a family, when Glenn Beck put out the call to everyone to gather with their friends and neighbors to hear this big announcement that he had, we were waiting for this unveiling of the 9/12 Project, what that was. We didn't know, but we were all anxiously awaiting, and we waited and waited for someone to organize this event so that we could go to it here locally, but nobody did it. And so finally my husband and I just said, let's do it. Let's just get together, let's just throw it out there, we'll just try to see who's going to come. And we didn't figure anyone would show up, but we had a huge response. Like hundreds of people came to we had 2 locations even. We had so many we had to spill over into a second thing, and that's kind of how I got started. Just meeting with people and getting to know my friends and neighbors and connecting with them and just talking about things, and that's where it all started. So it just helped having some information, having a place to gather online and in person. We had classes, and that's kind of what got me involved at the very beginning.
Amazing. I know you're extremely shy, so this is not your type of thing. I understand that. You're the last person that wants to be on video talking about yourself.
True enough.
But you recently did something in your own neighborhood to improve the neighborhood, a sidewalk. Do tell. How did that come about?
Well, as part of what we were discussing in our 9/12 project, it was more of like citizen activation, and to get involved in your own neighborhood, do something, get together and beautify. And we found this really dangerous road in our neighborhood where it was not a very wide road. It's dangerous with kids walking to school, and I almost ran someone over myself, and that kind of made me say, we need to change this. So as I called businesses, I called my neighbors, and we were all ready to chip in labor and time, and we're just going to go put something down to get these kids away from the road where we can drive safely. And so we wanted to solve this problem ourselves, but we also didn't want to break laws by throwing stuff down on the ground and not knowing whose property it is and all that. So we approached the city and said, who owns this land? Can we do this? And it turned into a red tape bureaucratic nightmare after that, but the fact is they were willing to work with us, and we went in with a solution in mind, and how can we reach this, and asking questions. And so I found our civic leaders to be willing to work with us and to be approachable, and it was really kind of a pleasant experience as far as listening to what they had to say. And things don't happen really fast in government, and I get that, and that's taken time to learn, but it eventually did happen. Our civic leaders, they said, well, this plan's not going to work, but let's try this. And it takes time for all those plans to happen, and I actually lost hope for a while because the stuff just fell through, but it ended up coming together in the end, and we ended up getting the sidewalk that we asked for and a lot more. So we're pleased with the result, and maybe not happening in the way that we had hoped, but it wasn't just me. We had lots of citizens involved in making phone calls, and the leaders that petitioned to the state and other places to get the funding for it. So it was really an amazing effort on everyone's part, in my opinion.
See, that's important, because it's just not about waiting around for the government to figure it out. It's you actually involving your neighbors.
Yeah.
And getting everyone on the same page and doing whatever it takes to get it done yourselves, which is amazing. There's a lot of people out there that really feel lost right now. They're lost. They don't know if their vote matters. They don't know really who to vote for. Where would they go to find out? I know during the last election, as a delegate, I was constantly seeing candidates and questioning everything. But I always had a way, if I had a question, I could ask you. Because you knew where they're going to be, what they're going to be doing, where I need to be. Can you please give people just a little bit of advice on what they can do? If they're just sitting around watching the news or just watching what's going on every day, but they feel lost, what would you suggest they do?
Well, I was just like that. As I explained, I was sitting around and wondering, what can I do? And so, I've been there, so I appreciate the question. My advice to people now would be to get involved wherever your passion is. If you're passionate about city issues, then go to city council. If you're passionate about the county issues, I know that's a really hot issue right now with all that's happening in our county financial situation, then start going to county commission. Or if you can't be there, find someone that can go and report to you, or call them and ask them questions yourself. There's lots of ways to get involved locally, because I look at the situation in Washington, and it's just a mess. I mean, I can't wrap my mind around the Washington and the national problems. That's just something that's way too far out of my reach, and probably for a lot of people. Yeah. They don't know what to do about that. We really can't do a whole lot as individuals to solve those problems. I mean, we can petition our leaders that represent us there, but outside of that, there's not much we can do. But we do feel the effects of our local government much sooner than we're ever going to feel the national issues, because normally those are spread out over years. But the decision to raise property taxes right now, you're going to feel that within a couple of months. Or if the school board raises something, or now the fire district needs extra money, we're going to feel all of that right now. And so if we have people at this place, and this place, and this place, regardless of their political affiliation, you don't have to be a part of a party to be involved in these things. I mean, you're paying taxes, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or a Constitution, or unaffiliated, it doesn't matter. And so I'd say dig in wherever you feel passionate. I'm passionate about the school board. I mean, I'm a homeschooler, but I still pay for that. Education's really important to me and my family, so I want to make sure that things are happening fairly and justly in that process. And so that's my passion, and where I dig in. Those are the meetings that I go to, and I report back to the Republicans about it. And
yes,
anyone can join that group. I mean, it's not just for Republicans. Anyone that has any sort of connection to Tooele County can join that. We're not a closed secret thing. We welcome everyone to come and be informed and part of our discussions. So.
That's very true. Well, you were nominated by BJ Salmond, and a number of us second the motion. Including myself. I know that, like I said, you're extremely shy, so
yeah,
we really appreciate you doing the video. Being a Tooele Patriot, it's a whole new idea, but I think the idea is stemming from the fact that we're finding patriots in our communities. They don't have to be elected officials. In fact, you're kind of the hard work behind the elected official. I don't know if many people know how much you do for the party.
I'm happy to do behind the scenes work. Recognition like this isn't my cup of tea, but whatever, I'll smile and go along with it. But there were some other really great people nominated, and I really hope to see more nominations in the future as we're getting this program started. So I'm excited to be part of it.
Is there anything that you would like for the future of the community and the party that you could think of?
I was really pleased when the call went out and we had the big fire going on in our county a few months back when it was hot and the fire was blazing out of control. I don't know where it originated from, but the call went out in lots of groups, not just the Republicans, but in lots of groups. We need to get water and we need to get granola bars and all these other things. They listed out some things that the firefighters needed, you know, while they're fighting the fire, and the donations just poured in.
I remember.
And it just spread like wildfire. Everyone was sharing that. And I would just love to see that kind of reaction with every issue in the county. We have a really important tax meeting coming up. Hurry, share it with everyone. We all need to be there. We need to be calling our people about that. Hey, this person's really, their house burned down. Let's get them some supplies or some basic household needs and just come in and take care of it. Let's not call the government to take care of us. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of each other. And I would just love to see that with every important issue that's coming, that we could all be connected in a way, regardless of our faith or our religion, our faith and religion, or our party, or anything that separates us into groups. If we could all be connected in a way that would make it so that we could get the job done without having to call someone to take care of us, then that's what I'd love to see happen.
And I think the founding fathers envisioned that, actually, that communities took care of their own, and there was really not a need for the big government.
And we're shifting away from that mentality, unfortunately, so I'd love to see us shift back.
That's really good, actually. Well, it's Tracy Shaw. We were so happy that you took the time to do the interview.
No problem.
And she was one of our shining stars in Tooele. What I do know is there were a number of excellent nominations. We have incredible people in our county, really hardworking, caring, giving people. Tracy happens to be the one we are going to show off a little bit this month. If you know a shining star in the community that you would like to highlight, please send your nomination to Tooele Patriot at gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook at the Tooele County Republicans page.